Pro Open class. They'll start that momentarily here in Heat 1, Round 1 of AMSOIL Pro Open. And it is a great lineup as we set the stage for racing here in Duluth.
You've got Jake Scott, Ryan Springer, Peter Narsa with a new team, Trevor Layton, Kyle Pauline, Thompson, Renheim, Tremblay, and Hayden.
That's right, Tim Tremblay on the starting line, and we are green. It has begun. The season has started in Duluth, and up the hill they go.
Kyle Pauline out in front early on, showing that new Polaris can lead the way. Boy, he looked strong early on, but look who's right behind him. That is Ryan Springer.
We've got a whole cavalcade as they follow him down the hill. Kyle Pauline is your leader as they cross the AMSOIL finish line. One lap in for 2015.
Kyle Pauline, your leader. Then it's Springer, and you will see Tremblay in third. Jake Scott, new this year on a new sled with a new team, racing out of course, Jeff's Racing. Watch these guys. Pauline looking extremely strong, and then you see Ryan Springer. Now, Tremblay sitting in third. We've seen some explosiveness out of him last night beyond belief.
Absolutely right. Across the stripe they go, and Kyle Pauline with an even bigger lead now as the battle has begun for second. Springer and Tremblay battling it out as they follow Kyle Pauline over the Air Force flyaway. This is your battle for second place.
There's the battle right there. Look at Tremblay going big as they go to the top of the hill, trying to come down underneath, of course, the sled of Ryan Springer. Not able to do so right now, but Tremblay, the crafty pro, he's watching his lines.
Tremblay has the line he likes. You see him go to the outside. Watch him swoop underneath Springer. Can't make a move there. It'll be a drag race up the hill as they continue to battle for second.
That battle is still brewing. Every lap, Tim Tremblay watching the lines, how it develops. Look at here, he comes huge. He's going to try to cut underneath. Has he got the line? Not quite there.
He's there still, though. The battle between the rookie and the man himself, Tim Tremblay. Down the hill they come, and Ryan Springer holds him off. Across the stripe they go. It's Pauline, it's Springer, it's Tremblay. 1, 2, 3.
That's where Tremblay was strong last night. You watched him as he was in the Dominator. Made a couple of strong moves there in some of his qualifiers. Back up front, there's your leader. And I'll tell you what, watching this closely, Kyle Pauline looks real comfortable.
Kyle Pauline has been comfortable on that sled all weekend. Uncomfortable right now, though, is Ryan Springer because he's got Tim Tremblay all over him. They cross that AMSOIL finish line to put another lap in the books, and Tremblay looks to the inside again.
Cross flags out, we're halfway there. Here comes Tremblay. That's the same thing he did last night. He had to take and go down deep underneath, wait for the line to open, and away he went.
Big air for Tim Tremblay as he is now comfortably into second and sets his sights on your leader. Does he have enough laps to make it up on that man, Kyle Pauline? We'll soon find out. They cross the AMSOIL finish line to put lap number 6 in the books. Kyle Pauline continues to be your leader.
And of course, he continues to be the fastest driver on the track. Last time running a 27.308. That is the fastest lap of this qualifier.
I don't think there's any doubt he loves the feel of that brand new sled. Right now, smooth everywhere. He's always a guy for big air, but right now he's carving the corners like nobody's business. Kyle Pauline puts another lap in the books for Team LaValle Racing.
And I'll tell you what, he is looking so smooth. We talked about this driver last year on how he gained confidence, and when he took that win in Canterbury, you could just see a fire ignite under him like you wouldn't believe. He wasn't going to get pushed around. He was going to be competitive. He's a fair competitor, and you know this new Polaris? He looks really comfortable on it.
He certainly does. Down the stretch he comes. There's Tim Tremblay continuing to try to reel in your leader. Over the AMSOIL finish line goes the AMSOIL sled.
You know, you got to look at it, though. Look at Pauline has got almost a 4-second lap on the field.
There he goes over the Air Force flyaway. Big air for Kyle Pauline. He prefers the outside line through the cat corner. He'll make the dog leg and make his way down towards the AMSOIL finish line once again.
There's the battle once again for third. You see that Ryan Springer still trying to work his way up. And as we watch these guys, that is Springer. And you watch the sled right behind him. That is Adam Renheim, the rider out of Boss Racing. Renheim on the 311 and takes him in the air.
He sure did. Makes a move on the inside, passes him through the air, and puts Ryan Springer one step back.
Renheim, another driver last year that became more comfortable here in the United States racing in these very demanding racetracks.
And Kyle Pauline will take the checkers here in Heat 1, Round 1 of AMSOIL Pro Duluth. Great, dominant 7-second win for Kyle Pauline.
Tim Tremblay coming across second. Then it would be Adam Renheim, Springer holding on for fourth, Jake Scott, Ian Hayden. Those are your top 6.
Again, you've got the 9 sleds spread across the starting line there, ready to go green. You see the 13 sled on the inside there. That's Lincoln Lemieux. Very fast last night in the AMSOIL Dominator. Backing him up just a little bit, making sure they're not violating that line.
You know, there's a number of things that we're doing a little differently this year. You see the line last year was right where the beam was at. We found out that people, when they would get their clutch to engage, it would just lurch ahead a little bit.
Sure.
They've given them like an 8-inch buffer. So, I mean, you know, you've got a little space to, hopefully you don't foul. But if you do turn that light on, you're going to the back.
About to go green in Duluth for Heat 2 of round 1. And they're racing in Duluth. Lincoln Lemieux a little bit of a gas there, and he drops back. Meanwhile, up front, they are racing.
Watch them as they come up. I think that's exactly what happened to Lincoln Lemieux. He thought he may have gotten fouled, but he didn't. Meanwhile, you go up front. It is Dave Jonas that is out in front. Jonas looking extremely strong on the Royal Distributing Christian Brothers Artie Cat. Man, I'll tell you what. And look who's coming along with him. That's a new ride for him, too. Justin Broberg works on the outside on the Arctic Cat.
Up the hill they go, and it is a battle all the way up front. It's still Jonas, it's Broberg, and Logan Christian back there as well. Oh, hard landing for the 115 of Jonas. He checks up a bit, and 2 and 3 reel him in.
You know, and you sit and look who's in third place. That, of course, Dave Jonas's teammate, Logan Christian.
Oh, we've got a new leader.
And that is Justin Broberg on the Arctic Cat. Broberg last year teammates with Cody Cam, and now you got 2 other cats trying to get around him.
Back around him though. We've got the lead again going to Dave Jonas. He gets crossways, sleds everywhere as they go to the Air Force flyaway.
Oh, 3 abreast into the top part of the racetrack, and look who comes out on top. Logan Christian.
Around the dog leg and down the hill they come, the 43 sled, but on the outside, the 168 of Broberg takes the lead back over the AMSOIL finish line.
Broberg racing for McGuire Motorsports and Arctic Cat.
And quickly, Logan Christian asserts his dominance over the field and takes the lead. We got a yellow flag right there.
Out there.
A bit of a checkup for everybody. Back on the gas they go. It's Christian. It's the 115 and Dave Jonas. The battle's for second. Jonas to the inside. Broberg now to third.
Well, both the Christian brothers sleds out front. You've got Christian, and then you've got Jonas. Broberg trying to get in the battle, and I'll tell you what, for making a change in mid-season, it was late in the year, Broberg looking very strong.
And now looking very strong is the strong man himself, Logan Christian out front, up at the top of the hill, around the cat corner and headed towards the dog leg. It's Christian, it's Jonas, it's Broberg as they head towards the AMSOIL finish line.
Halfway there, cross flags out, Iceman showing them that they're halfway home. Logan Christian powering through the corner. David Jonas looking right behind him.
Each rider sharing a similar line at every section of the racetrack, Mike. It's fun to watch as they develop this track and as it changes race to race. Logan, that time, very wide outside in the cat corner.
And yet his teammate, Dave Jonas, tried to stay closer on the inside. So, you know, maybe the sleds are set up a little differently, the way they came into the corner, a number of different things. Let's watch them in this corner. There you see Logan going shallow. Same thing with Dave Jonas, and most of the drivers in turns 1 and 2 are staying shallow.
Logan Christian of Fertile, Minnesota continues to lead here in Heat 2, Round 1 of the AMSOIL Pro Open class, and he'll again use that extreme outside line.
And Dave Jonas again stayed inside, so that's their preferred line right there. Now, Dave Jonas has got to make a decision. If he's not making up any ground on his teammate on the top part of the racetrack, he's got to make a change, because otherwise you're just going to stay status quo. So let's see what Dave does as they go around to the top part of the racetrack next time.
It's Logan Christian, your leader. It's David Jonas in second. Justin Broberg continues to hold on for third. There he is on the extreme outside line for Logan Christian once again through that cat corner.
Yep, and you look at Jonas, he stayed down low. You know, their lap time's pretty close last time. As you see, 28.5, 28.1. So, you know, they're within 0.3 of a second of each other.
2 laps to go in the second heat of AMSOIL Pro Open in Round 1. Broberg now comfortably in third as Logan Christian hits that Air Force flyaway at the top of the hill.
Well, you know, the Arctic Cat folks got to be licking their chops here. They are in first, second, third, fourth, and fifth place.
That would be Zach Patton all the way back in fifth right there.
The number 99 sled.
The white flag is out for Logan Christian, and check it out. David Jonas has reeled the leader in. The lead is now just over a half a second. Logan Christian heads towards the Air Force flyaway for the final time.
Last lap, David Jonas about 0.8 of a second faster than what his teammate was. Oh, he is right there.
He sure is. And we've got a lap racer right in front of him as they head for the checkered flags. Logan Christian. Oh, no! The leader goes down. Logan Christian hits a lap sled who was crashed in front of him. And your winner will be David Jonas. Logan tries to get his sled fired up to get back on it. Within 50 yards of the finish line, a lapped sled upside down in front of him. Logan Christian makes contact, and he's trying to get it figured out. Let's take a look at what happened, Mike.
Well, and I'll tell you what, this isn't the first time that we've had a problem here. There you see that sled, that driver offload. Oh, that was Logan after he hit the sled. We're trying to see who the sled was. There you see the sled sitting there, and Logan just catches the top of it, just pitches him over. Everybody able to, of course, avoid Logan. But you know what? That's 2 nights in a row that he's gotten bit.
That is unavoidable, Mike. You know, you're coming down the hill, you're less than half a football field away from the finish line, and suddenly there's a sled in front of you. The crash had just happened right in front of him, had no time to react to it, and he loses it all right there 50 yards from the finish.
And you know, when you come down that Ram runaway, as I call it, you're committed. I mean, once you're in the air, I mean, there's no going, okay, I'm going to go left or right. I mean, that sled's going to go the direction that you launched it in. So Logan, whether he's seen it or did not see it before he had committed himself, that's elementary. I mean, he was in a position where, I mean, he just jumped up and got bit.
Every racer's nightmare right there, and it happened in front of our face to Logan Christian. He'll still, I believe, come across scored in fifth. Dave Jonas will take the win. Justin Broberg comes across in second, and Corey Watkinson will hang on for third.
Man, I'll tell you what a heat. What a heat.
And again, that is just heat number 2 of round 1 of AMSOIL Pro Open. We've got another heat of AMSOIL Pro Open about to line up here. With all the testing you do, you just don't know what's going to happen until you're actually racing, as he's about to here in this Pro Open.
Here's the way they line up. John Stenberg, of course, the Norwegian driver out of Warnert Racing on the Skidoo. Darren Mees. Then you got Stanfenberg, Cody Camp, Colby Crapo coming back and racing with us. It will be Tucker Hibbert, Ross Martin, Corn Todd, and Andy Leaders racing as an independent this year, also on a Polaris.
9 sleds ready to go in this Pro Open qualifier, and it's almost in the starter's hands. You see the racers ready to go. There's your starter. He points at each racer to make sure they're ready to go. When the light goes green, we go racing. And we are racing in Duluth. Up the hill they go through the dogleg. 9 sleds try to make their way through, and almost making it through cleanly, but we lost one racer at the bottom of the hill.
Well, you watched it, Tucker trying to take the outside. Look who was able to rail over and take away the line. Cody Cam, your early race leader. Right behind him is that Tucker Hibbert. We will know shortly. That is the 287. That would machine Saftenberg.
That's exactly right. He was the racer who went off right at the starting line. Here comes your leader, though. That's Cody Cam. He'll have to slow down to make his way through and get back on the gas now. But a sizable lead for Cody Cam over Ross Martin and John Stenberg. Tucker Hibbert was scored on that first lap all the way back in 8th place. Cody Cam trying to run away and hide right now.
Well, we'll see if Tucker can work his way back up. But as you indicated, Cam with almost a 2-second lead over the field. Now, that yellow may have shaken that up a little bit. We'll watch them as they come back around down that Ram runaway to complete another lap here in just a couple of moments, and we'll set the order.
I'm going to tell you right now, Cody Cam, Ross Martin, and John Stenberg all the way out there, but I believe Tucker Hibbert must have been involved in that first accident because he's way behind the field right now. We'll get more information on that as we go. Meanwhile, up front, there he is, Cody Cam. The 53 has been fast day in and day out for years here in Snowcross right now. He just ran a 26.994. He is really railing it through this track here in Duluth right now. Cam, Martin, and Stenberg, 1, 2, and 3 as Cody Cam goes through that cat corner up top. right there again, as you see over the Air Force flyaway. Cody Cam right there into the FXR turn. A 27-second lap, and right now a 4-second lead for Cody Cam.
Now they're yellow out, so we've got a problem up at the top of the hill.
Cody Cam over the Air Force flyaway. You saw him check up a little bit there and not get enough air to make it cleanly through the Air Force flyaway, but it doesn't slow him up too much. Cody Cam back on the gas and headed down the hill towards that AMSOIL finish line to put another lap in the books. There's Tucker Hibbert right now being scored in, I believe, 4th place. So making his way through the field, here comes Tucker Hibbert. Last night in the Dominator, things didn't go as well as he would like, but he's back on the gas now and trying to reel in that man, the 53 and your leader, Cody Cam, here in this first qualifier.
Cam looking strong, as you indicated. We watched Tucker Hibbert. Hibbert involved early on in an incident, and Hibbert up into 5th place as we speak. He's trying to make his way to gain more points, and we'll talk about the points because that's a big change this year as to the way they're going to line up in the final, about the way they collect points during these qualifiers. Cody Cam right now, though, out in front.
Out of Kenosha, Wisconsin, Cody Cam is the leader, but Tucker Hibbert continues to try to reel him in.
Trying to get around Cody Thompson.
And he will do it over the Air Force flyaway. You give him laps, he's going to find a way. Bumping and banging at the top of the hill. Cody Thompson's not going to give it up easy. It's a drag race towards the AMSOIL finish line.
Boy, Cody, used to race as an Arctic Cat driver, now racing as an independent. He wanted to show Tucker that, hey, you know what, I'm still a good driver here, even though as I am racing as an independent. Well, Tucker gets around him, so Tucker now sitting in 4th, and he's about 13 seconds out of the lead. So Cody Cam continues to put distance between he and Ross Martin and the rest of the field.
Meanwhile, Tucker Hibbert sets his sights on John Stenberg. That's the sled right in front of him there, who's sitting in 3rd. Ross Martin in 2nd, Cody Cam in 1st. But here comes Tucker trying to find his way around Stenberg. He goes to the inside. There's a lap sled right there. Tucker takes it to the inside and makes the pass on the lapper and John Stenberg.
Boy, he made it, took advantage of that sled being in the way. That was the 287 of Stanfenberg. Stanfenberg was down low. It didn't give the drivers an opportunity to go low. Tucker took it to the outside. Sandberg really was fighting to try to find a line, and Tucker gets around him.
Tucker Hibbert comes towards that AMSOIL finish line. 1 lap to go, and he's made his way to 3rd. Meanwhile, at the top in the cat corner, there's the man who's dominated this Pro Open qualifier. He makes the dogleg and hangs towards that AMSOIL finish line. Your winner of this Pro Open qualifier, Cody Cam. We'll take a break and come right back and talk to our winner, the 53 of Cody Cam. After a short break, this is AMSOIL Snowcross National from Spirit Mountain. AMSOIL Championship Snowcross, powered by Ram. Again, Heat 1, Round 2 of the Pro Light Division, always action-packed. Any race with Elias Ishul is absolutely action-packed. We saw what he did in his first heat of the night. He was very, very fast and came from the back to win. Let's see if he can do it again, Mike.
Under Saunders' orders, Round 2, Heat 1 of Pro Light.
And they are racing. Heat 1, Round 2 of Pro Light. Through the dogleg and up the hill they go.
Outside looking to be the preferred line. Somebody coming hard in the middle, though. Watch them as they come up to the top of the hill, and that is the number 177 of Jake Angrove.
Yeah, he's been fast today all day long, and he got a great start down the hill. He comes, Jake Angrove, again, your leader, as they head over that AMSOIL finish line to put one in the books. It's Angrove and Zach Mason, who again was very fast in his first heat as well.
Brent Nastalia, Cale Fair. Now, the interesting thing here is you've got 2 guys in here that won the earlier heats. Zach Mason won his heat in round 1, plus Elias Ishul won his heat too. Ishul sitting back in 7th place
he
right now.
He won't be there for long. I just saw giant air out of Elias as they went over that Air Force flyaway. Meanwhile, back up front, there's the leader of the 177 again is Jake Angrove. But here comes Zach Mason, looks to the inside. They'll race up the hill and see who can pull it out. He pulls away a little bit, does your leader, Jake Angrove. But to the inside comes Zach Mason.
Well, and Mason right with him. It looks like he had him on the uphill. He
got
does.
Him.
So two of the big power Polaris teams in Pro Lite here doing battle up front.
We have a new leader. The 63 is Zach Mason. Angove not going away easy. But there he goes towards the AMSOIL finish line. The green flag stays in the air for the 63.
Both these guys making huge changes in the offseason. As we talked about, Zach Mason moving over to Lavallee Racing. Now Jake Angrove also making a big change, picked up by Judnick Motorsports. That is huge.
The race is by no means over for the win here in this second heat for these individuals. Mason continues to be your leader, but Angove is right there, as is Maxime Teifer.
Teifer on the Skidoo trying to work the inside, moving up a spot, taking a look on the inside of Angove, but he's not quite there.
Yellow flag is out. Everybody checks up.
Tough yellow right there in the corner. Somebody off their sled.
Back up the hill they go, full speed towards the Air Force flyaway. The battle's for second. Angove and Teifer. We'll see as they come through the cat corner who ends up. There's Elias Heschel having issues right over there off the side of the track. They'll get him back out there. Meanwhile, your leader continues to be Zach Mason. And now the 144 is scored in second. That's Teifer. He's made his way to second, and the battle begins for the lead.
I think Eschel's minus a ski.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah, now he's tipped over on the back part of the racetrack.
Here comes Teifer. Looks to the inside. They make their way over the Air Force flyaway to the top of the hill in the cat corner. Zach Mason continues to lead, but he's feeling the heat from behind right now. Down the hill they come. They'll hit the white flag as they cross the AMSOIL finish line.
Boy, you know, and when they come out of two here, you watch how Teifer's charging. They're going to have a yellow back here too. Now, watch them as they can't jump here. Ooh, he checked up nicely. Both of them did, yes.
Back on the gas they go for the final time up the hill over the Air Force flyaway. Zach Mason has been in the lead since the first lap. He'll make the final cat curve, head towards that dog leg, and try to make his way towards another win here in this, the second heat for Pro Lite.
Nice run for Zach Mason. Mason's going 1-1. You would think that he's either going to be the top qualifier or up at the top of qualifying. That is a good run for him, and he takes and looks at Maxime. Maxime gives him a thumbs up. Good to see good racing and good gestures between our drivers here. And tell me if he isn't pumped up.
You better believe he is, and I know his team is as well. Zach Mason, then Teifer, then Angove, 1, 2, 3, with Holm coming in fourth, and Car Jalen coming in fifth.
Then you get Blanchard in sixth, Brent Nastalia in seventh, and Elias Eschel having a problem. You know, he had a problem early on up at the top, and it just escalated from there until he had an issue in turn one and then on the back part.
There's a look at the very start of this race. You see the 177 and the 63 battling it out, and the 177 takes off and leads a good portion early in this race. But it wasn't long before that man right there, Zach Mason, took the lead on the inside and ran away and hid. Your final lap, a look at that final cat curve, and over that AMSOIL finish line for the win.
Boy, for a little guy, he makes it look effortlessly, doesn't it?
Lots of upper body strength for that young man.
Making the call, just about ready to go green, Hawk.
And we are racing in Duluth, and up the hill they go.
Boy, a little bumping and banging, but outside got shut off there. You see some of the guys in the middle.
Oh, hold on to it. Somehow he does, but somebody didn't. We've lost a racer.
Yeah, that is trying to get a number on the sled.
May have been 122, but I'm not sure. We'll get
122 would be Kevin Wallenstein, but Wallenstein's on a Skidoo,
right.
So we'll work on that and get that squared away for you.
151 is your leader.
Oh, man!
A bad crash right there. That's, I believe, the 127.
127, and that is a machine of Derek
Saftenberg.
Yes.
151, though, is Jacob Gervais, and I believe he scored as your leader right now as they head up the hill. Big air over the Air Force flyaway for the 151 as Kevin Wallenstein tries to find him, but let's take a look at what happened on the crash on the front stretch.
Just off camber again. You try to correct it, and if that thing pitches, you just do not have enough inertia and energy to bring the sled back straight.
400 pounds.
You're at its whim.
Yeah, it makes its decision. Meanwhile, we've got a new leader. The 23 at Wallenberg makes the move on the inside and gets around Gervais, and we do have a new leader. Meanwhile, right in front of him, there's a sled. Somebody's off their sled right there. That's why you see the yellow. They'll clean that up, but the race continues as the 23 of Luke Wallenberg is your new leader out of I believe Kaukauna, Wisconsin is where he's from. Comes all the way here to Duluth and he's making his way and making a statement by leading this, the second race of round 2 of Pro Lights.
Boy, he's got a great sponsor too. Green Bay Blizzard Arena Football.
You gotta like that.
You would have to love that. So Wollenberg up front, you know, and we should go back. That Polaris that had an issue on the back part was Jordan Krause. He scored now in 8th place. Tough break for him. But I'll tell you what, this Polaris not having any problems right now. Luke Wollenberg out front.
Wallenberg around the cat corner. He'll make it through that dog leg and head back down the stretch towards that Amsoil finish line. We'll set the field for you as we can see a battle beginning to happen back there for second now. So your leader again is Wallenberg, then Gervais, but the battle is happening. Muller and Gervais battling it out for second, and that's the battle on your screen. The 151 is Gervais. Wallenstein on the 122. The leader takes a look over his shoulder and watches the battle happen behind him. That's the 151 of Gervais continuing to be in second, but Wallenstein is right on his tail.
Muller keeping an eye back there in 4th place, too, just waiting for those two guys to swap a little paint.
Wallenstein to the inside, I believe, took that spot. He did. The battle continues to rage. It's Wallenberg, and then Wallenstein, and then Gervais, 1, 2, 3. Over the Air Force flyway around the cat corner. Wallenberg and Wallenstein battling it out for the win.
And I'll tell you what, Wallenstein's got that skidoo of his going. Let's watch them as they come in. It'll be a white flag this time behind. That's a battle for 3-4. That's Gervais and Muller and Wallenstein.
We take a look right there at your leader. There's Wallenstein, the 122.
He got around. He had that charge on the downhill, and that's where he made his charge at the Amsoil finish line. Made the pass. Now your leader.
Wallenstein on the 122 through the cat corner. He'll make his way towards the dog leg, and down the hill comes the 122. Kevin Wallenstein worked his way to the win in round 2, heat 2 of the Pro Light division. Travis Muller will get around Wallenberg. He'll come across in second, and Luke Wallenberg will hold on for third. Welcome back to Spirit Mountain, lovely Duluth, Minnesota. Round 1 of Amsoil Championship Snowcross powered by Ram. About to go green for Heat 3, Round 2 of Pro Lights, and they are racing.
Boy, that was a great shot to see that little buffer. You seen the red line where the beam was? They were all back a little bit. Oh, a little contact there.
He held on somehow.
That was just a tiny love nudge.
Is that what that was?
There. 705 out front. That is the machine. What? Go ahead.
That's 765. That's Montana Jess.
You bet.
Who was fast in his first heat, Mike. And look how fast he is here. Over the Amsoil finish line. A giant lead already as the battle behind him is just heating up.
Miko Osmo in second. Johnstead in third. There's some bumping and banging going on back there, isn't there?
Yes, there is, and Montana Jess loves it. Let him bump and bang, he says. I'm going to run away and hide. Up the hill he goes.
I think Johnstead was up there battling for second. Now he's sitting back in about 4th or 5th.
Around the dogleg, down the hill he comes. Montana Jess on that 765. Over the Amsoil finish line, a comfortable lead and a very fast lap, but now beginning to reel him in. That's the 14 of James Johnstead.
Johnstead was battling back there and made some passing to get up front.
Battling back there for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. You just saw that on your screen. I think it's about to get real interesting up front, though. Montana Jess, right there is your leader. Montana out of Westminster, Massachusetts for Team Arctic Cats. Headed down the hill on that 765 towards the Amsoil finish line. Second place continues to be the 14 of James Johnstead. Big air, though, for the, I believe, 58 machine.
Man, they're trying to move around, and that's Marcus Ogmar-Hilo.
Over the Air Force flyway, a little bit crooked was Montana Jess. A hard landing for him there, but he continues the momentum and continues to lead. The red sled right behind him again. That's the 14 of James Johnstead. Over the Amsoil finish line.
Was about a little over a second and a half. Added about a 10th, so those two running pretty close to identical lap times, Jess and Johnstead. Jess on an Arctic Cat, sponsored by a number of people, including Team Arctic, Central Mass Motorsports, Woody's, just some of his great sponsors.
Great shot as the racers head up the hill here in Heat 3, Round 2 of Pro Lights. Now they head back down the hill. 2 laps to go right now for your leader. Montana just takes a look over his shoulder to see what's going on behind him. And he got an eye full of James Johnstead. The 14 sled again made up a little bit of room there. Made up, in fact, a half second on that lap, and he looks to the inside.
There's Jess on the outside. You'll notice Johnstead, when they get to the top part of the racetrack, though, he prefers that outside line too. So kind of drifting over. Now let's watch them on the downhill. They're coming down for the white flag.
And you see to the outside comes Johnstead, and he made up a lot of room. We're going to have a race on the white flag lap right here. Johnstead looks to the inside. Montana just continues to lead, but he's feeling the heat right now from behind.
The second half of the lap is where Johnstead has been stronger. Watch him as they come up. He kind of follows the line, but then he goes outside on that downhill, and this is where he's been really, really strong.
Around the dogleg and down the hill comes Montana Jess. Can he hold off James Johnstead for a while longer? He will, and the win will go to Montana Jess.
Looked like Johnstead may have cased one in the top part of the racetrack, so he is going to take and end up with second place. It scrubbed off some speed. Montana Jess, like you said, with the win. Johnstead in second.
Marcus Ogmar Helig will come across in third. We'll take a look at what happened in that race. This is the start. They were bunched up as they headed into the dogleg right there, but up the hill they went. Almost everybody got through cleanly.
No, Johnstead got nipped there.
He sure did.
He was out front. Montana just landing on his ski.
And you take a look at just how close it got towards the end of the race right there. Johnstead trying to reel him in, but just did not have the real estate. And the win went to Montana Jess. That.
Yes, we do.
Heat 4, Round 2, Pro Light. Let's get it on, ladies and gentlemen. And they're racing in Duluth. Up the hill they go.
Boy, Kern got pinched. That'll throw him way back to the back of the field. Who all else working in there? The number 17, Corbin Anderson, right in the middle. But it looks like your early race leader to the top part of the racetrack is
7:51, maybe.
Is it 7:51
or 7:05? Could have been Tyler Adams. We'll take a look as they make their way around and head towards the score table. No, 7:51.
7:51. That's the Arctic Cat of Martin Molen out of Alta, Norway.
Martin Molen, Daniel Benham, and Cole Coutu, 1, 2, 3 as they cross the stripe for the first time and head back up the hill.
Boy, are there a lot of drivers here from Norway and Sweden here this weekend.
You better believe there are, and they've got a large contingent of fans and family with them as well. So welcome to the United States, and right now one of your guys is throwing a big roost of welcome in the face of Daniel Benham in second.
I can't believe we haven't seen the royal blue or the red flags of Norway or Sweden out waving, but I'll tell you what, Martin Molen looking very strong here in this qualifier early on. Now look at that, Benham and Coutu working, trying to gain some ground on him, but it's still going to be the 7:51. That is Molen out in front.
Over the Air Force flyaway, finds his way through that cat corner up at the top of the hill. There, right there, I believe is your battle for second.
Coutu on the Polaris in those very bright FXR apparel.
Oh, he's got the inside line, making his way down the hill.
Benham on the 221 Arctic Cat.
That's right, we've got a new second place rider. That'll be Cole Coutu into second.
He made that look easy.
He sure did, but it ain't over yet. Little bumping and grinding, but Benham lets him go, and Cole Coutu will take over that second spot.
Good racing. These guys raced a long time together in sport, now bumping up into this Pro Light class. And I'll tell you what, Cole Coutu, for a first-year Pro Light rider, looking pretty good.
You better believe it. There's your leader, though, coming down the hill right now. That's the 7:51, Martin Molen. Over the Amsoil finish line, the green flag continues to fly for your leader. Meanwhile, behind him, Cole Coutu on the 21, doing all he can to try to reel him in. Out of Lake Nebagaman, Wisconsin, for Hanco Utilities, that's Cole Coutu.
There you see Molen go up into the top part of the racetrack, edge around. Here's a battle for second or third and fourth. Benham on the 221. We talked about Travis Kern, how Kern got pinched at the start. Kern has worked his way back up to 4th place, now trying to make a run on that 201 Artie Cat on the 221 of Daniel Benham for 3rd place.
You see the outside look. Will he try the swoop? He does try. He tries to swoop, and he makes it almost
you
work.
very good.
You're very, very welcome.
That was where he was.
Yeah, I know it absolutely was. But he gets squirrely right there and leaves the door open. It's a battle over the Air Force flyaway. Good, clean racing right there, and the 201 makes the move, but not for good.
Boy, it looks like that outside line a little faster as we go back up to your leader, Martin Mullen. Right now with a 5.5 second lead over the rest of the field on this final lap.
That's right, for Arctic Cat and Fratellone Racing, the 751 of Martin Mullen makes his way up the hill into that cat corner one final time under the white flag. The battle continues to rage. Back behind him, the 221 of Daniel Benham, and that right behind him is Travis Kern.
Boy, Kern not giving up. Kern wants that 3rd position, but I'll tell you what, they don't need to worry about who won this race. Martin Mullen won it running away.
He certainly did, or riding away, one of the two. Martin Mullen, Cole Coutu, and the 221 of Daniel Benham will hold on for 3rd. Travis Kern gave him all he could, but couldn't get around him for 3rd. He'll end up 4th, and Kyle Rao will come across in 5th. That'll do it for the 2nd round of heats of the Pro Light Division. It's in the starters' hands. The FXR Sport class ready to go. Somebody broke the light, I believe. They back them up just a smidge.
And you see how they're keeping them back just a little bit from the line in case their clutch is engaged.
It's in the starters' hands. He checks each racer.
No, and
somebody broke it again.
Just broke it. It looks like it's on the other side because these guys all look clean.
Again, you see that red line painted in the snow. There's a light. You cannot break that laser light. If you do, they will not give the green flag. By the way, these guys racing for a free pass as well.
You bet the top five or 4 guys will get a free pass to the regional race of their choice. So that's a big deal.
You better believe it. Every dollar saved is a dollar earned. Isn't that what they say? So the free pass on the line for the top 5 finishers in this feature, as well as the hardware for the top 3.
Save money for parts.
For parts. For parts.
New parts.
I guess. After races in the FXR Sport class, you often need new parts. There's no doubt.
Just about ready to go, Hawk.
It's back in the starter's hands. He checks each racer, and then he turns them green and lets them go. And we are racing in Duluth. 15 sleds into turn 1.
Man, they're leaning on each other bad.
Off the track goes a racer.
Man.
That was a hard impact. Luckily, he looks like he's okay. He's up. He's going to walk it off, holding his wrist. We'll check on that racer.
Man, what a start. Watch
Let's
this
take a
again.
look at this.
Watch them all funnel to the middle and pinch, and then they all start pushing out. Right there it was.
That's a hard impact. Luckily, he didn't get run over by the sled behind him. He's back up and moving. Meanwhile, up front, we've got a leader. And ladies and gentlemen, it's Jay Lura on that 217 sled.
You know, we're going to want to pay close attention here. I kind of wonder if one of those sleds that went off the track wasn't our number 1 qualifier, Nicholas Lorenz. We'll try to get some info on that.
Around the dog leg and down the hill comes the 217 of Jay Lura. Jay, the number 9 qualifier out of Holly, Minnesota for Arctic Cat and Fly Racing. A big lead in this FXR Sport class.
That start shook it up for everybody. There you see Laura. Right behind him, I believe, is Cameron Anderson. Dylan Jensen moving up. And Jensen, qualified 3rd. That's where he's running right now. Mitchell Keelan, Pat Node, and Uric. Those are your top 6 sleds.
A battle up front continuing, and the racing on back. We got a racer off his sled. That's the 239 of Mitchell Thielen. He was running 4th at the time. He is off his sled.
That's the Coutu Racing Hanco Ford sled.
We said it before the green flag dropped. This is always an action-packed race. These young men and women on these sleds with lots of power often lose track of them like this guy did right here. Again, that was the 239 sled.
Just coming in off camber a little bit, got it a little nose heavy. When it hit hard, he wasn't able to hold on, and over the handlebars he went.
Up front, the 217 trying to hold off, I believe, the 725 of Cameron Anderson, who's going to make it a race for the win here in the feature of the FXR Sport class.
Anderson goes to the inside, had a little tank slapper there, was able to hold on, but let's see what he does down here. He's got position to try to make a run, just not quite close enough to Jay Laura to make the pass.
You could throw a blanket over 1 through 4 right now. It's Lura, it's Anderson, it's Yerk, and Jansen as the FXR Sport final continues.
And that last lap, Jacob Urich got around Dylan Jensen to get on the podium. So now Jensen, he's about a 1/10 of a second behind. Very, very close. He wants a podium finish on his Arctic Cat. Urich being strong though on the Polaris.
Big air for Jay Lura as they hit that AMSOIL finish line. To the outside goes Cameron Anderson. He'll look to the inside. The fans go wild. The battle now is for second and third.
Not quite there. Couldn't do it. Now you look at the battle as Urich trying to make up some ground on the Skidoo. Urich sitting there in third place on the Polaris. Watch them as they go uphill. Man, they are all over. There's your race leader. Here goes Anderson underneath.
Great move on the swoop for Cameron Anderson, and we've got a new leader.
And now Laura looks like, oh, holds on.
Somehow he hangs on to it, but he loses the spot to second place.
Laura just almost looked frustrated, and Cameron Anderson has a bobble. Now on the outside, here's Urich making a run uphill. And
we've got a brand new leader. That is Jacob Urich, just hanging out back there waiting for mistakes to happen, and they do, and suddenly we've got a new leader. The 727 is Jacob Urich.
We got 2 laps left. How many more times can we do this? Look at Anderson. He has a head snap as he lands short, cases one in. But it's Urich out front now with 1 lap left to go. Jacob Urich, who qualified second out of Grand Blanc, Michigan. On the FXR Urich Construction Polaris, your leader.
Oh, that was a battle for third, but not anymore, as we've got a rider off his sled. I believe that was Jay Lura.
Yep.
Things went south quickly for Jay.
He did. He just looked like after he got past him, there's a driver off in the back part of the racetrack.
Jacob Urich just trying to hold on for the win here as sleds go everywhere, and he heads for the AMSOIL finish line. The FXR Sport Champion in Duluth is Jacob Urich. The 727 with the win. Cameron Anderson will come across in second on the 725, and Dylan Jansen will hang on for the final podium spot in third. The FXR Sport class delivered the energy and the excitement, and Jacob Urich delivers the trophy to his trailer after the big win.
You know, right from the start, we seen the start get all mixed up where the people that were up front started pushing together in the middle. Then we've seen that big push to the outside, and we've seen a bunch of sleds having an issue and going off track. A number of those people were the people that were the top qualifiers. We talk about Nicholas Lorenz. And look at, of course, Mitchell Thielen also off. Here's that start. Watch this.
Oof.
As they bang up. Now they're all over, and off the track they go.
Oh, my.
And, man, I'll tell you what, that was an ugly, ugly off.
And that was Lorenz, as you said. But this, again, the pass right there, that was Cameron Anderson getting around for what was the lead for him for just a bit.
And then, you know, when they came around here, there you see that, of course, Cameron having that bobble, actually losing a grip of the handlebars. That gave, of course, the sled of Jacob Urich an opportunity to go by, and he capitalizes and takes a win.
And you saw the fans down there in the FXR turn going crazy as that pass happened, which is always fun to see. As you can see, the excitement and the energy produced by the FXR Sport class always brings the fans alive, and it certainly did that time. And there's a very happy Jacob Urich.
You know, and it goes to show right there, you just never give up. I mean, these races, 8 laps, and I tell you what, especially when you start getting into sport, Pro Lite, and of course Pro Open class, things are so fluid and change so fast, you just never know what's going to happen, and it's a big, big win, as you indicated, for Jacob Urich.
So Jacob Urich, Cameron Anderson, Dylan Jansen, Leo Patenaude, and Yannick Boucher will receive the free pass from ISOC. That's right. The racers who finished in the top 5 of their final will get the next single entry fee at any regional waived. So they just won a free race.
What do you think? Quad Mountain Park next weekend?
I think that sounds about right to me.
Need some seat time right there, baby.
You are correct.
All right, let's go down and meet our top 3 drivers here in the FXR Sport 2 final. In third place, he's on an Arctic Cat out of Ham Lake, Minnesota, racing for Arctic Cat. Fly Racing, Amsoil and Woody's. On the number 272 sled, Dylan Jensen. In second place, out of Allentown, Michigan, racing for Fly Racing, Dees Marine, and Stud Boy, that's Cameron Anderson. And your winner, out of Grand Blanc, Michigan, racing for Polaris, FXR, Uric Construction and Great Lakes Dive and Salvage. Please welcome your winner, Jacob Uric. Let's go down to winner's circle. I think Chelsea's down there. Hi, Chelsea.
Hey, what a sport final that was. Derek Jansen ending up Dylan Jansen. He's right there. Hey, bro. So we got Dylan Jansen here in third spot. Dylan, you had a solid weekend all weekend long. How does it feel to be on the podium tonight?
Awesome. Worked so hard this summer with my trainer, Kurt. I can't thank him enough. Andrew Carlson and Ryan Springer, those guys put me to the next level physically this summer. It was unreal. Like, I can't even thank them enough. Can't be here without my mom and dad, my team, Scott Holla, Mike Floetti, Holla Racing, Fly Racing, 999 Optics, Fox, Arctic Cat, Woody Speedworks, Amsoil, WPS, Ag Power, they're all here right now. Awesome group of people to work with. It's so fun. Rock Steadies, and then Matt Pickner, he's got it's the best snowmobile I've ever had in my entire life. So awesome. Dion, my mechanic, he's been my friend for a while now, and he gets to be my mechanic this year, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Chase and everyone else here supporting me, I can't thank them enough.
Well, congratulations. Great job, Dylan. Come on down. Cameron Anderson, another family guy here. I'm gonna get your name right though, okay? So Cameron, I was looking at the start sheet. You got 10th pick. What did you do to get a great start and get up here tonight?
I don't know. That's all Ski-Doo. They put a great sled together this year, so that's on them.
And who else would you like to thank?
Ski-Doo for making an awesome sled this year. Fly, Scott, Stud Boy, 139 Designs, yeah, Fox. Yeah, that's all. Thanks.
Congratulations, Cameron. And sweeping the weekend here in the sport class, we've got Jacob Yerk. Now, Jacob, you didn't get the whole shot right away. How did you make yourself come up on top of the box?
Basically, all it is I was just waiting for mistakes and trying to be as patient as possible. You know, if you rush it, that's when things go wrong. And I learned that last year, so I was just trying to keep that going. But I really couldn't do it without everybody behind me this year. My parents, God, he kept me safe that whole race. It was a sketchy one, but we made it through it. And I also got to thank Factory Polaris, Ben, Brad, Baum, Jr., and Kyle, all at the trailer there. They are awesome. Always there to help. Cannot thank them enough. Yeah, FXR for making me look sweet. Bishop Designs for the cool helmet job this year. And Stud Boy, CNA Pro Skis, Mach 1 Graphics, Scott Goggles. Everybody watching at home, thanks so much for tuning in. And thank you, ISOC, for the event, because without ISOC, it wouldn't be possible. And thank you to the fans as well. It's been a good weekend.
There's your starter. Gonna make sure everybody's ready to go. Heat 1, round 2, Amsoil Pro Open in Duluth. Here at Spirit Mountain, the best racers ready to go. And they're racing in Duluth.
Watch them as they funnel into the corner here. And again, push out just a little bit, but everybody seems to work through it cleanly.
Is that Dave Jonas again?
That is Dave Jonas.
He
up
has
front.
been fast all night long.
And look who's right behind him, Tim Tremblay. Tremblay's going to challenge right from the beginning.
Down the hill they come to put one in the books. It's Jonas and Tremblay over the Amsoil finish line.
Tell you what, Tremblay right there tried to get a ski underneath. Jonas covered the line. Dave will be patient here now. Try the outside, a little different line, and watch them as they go back up to the top of the hill. It's still Jonas out front. Tremblay goes a little deeper, tries to square to make up some ground.
Down the dogleg and down the hill they come. Look at the battle now, shaping up for second.
That's Ross Martin, and Martin just blows by Tim Tremblay. So now Martin sitting in second spot. It's Jonas, Martin, and Tremblay. Renheim in fourth. Leaders, Trevor Layton, those are your top six. But I tell you what, Ross Martin has found another gear.
He certainly has. We've talked about that brand new Polaris sled and how much he liked it all night. Right now, it's working real well for him. He's reeling in Dave Jonas, but your leader is still headed towards the AMSOIL finish line. The 1:15 of Dave Jonas.
Jonas running at 28.3. Martin at 28 flat, so he picks up 0.3 of a second that last lap. Martin running extremely well on his new ride.
But Jonas is not giving anything away. What a great weekend it's been for Dave Jonas so far.
Look at how Ross just takes it to the outside, just turns the wheel, and like he said, when he turns those bars, it's like the sled turns so effortlessly.
I noticed last night the cheetah print on the seat of Dave Jonas. They say a cheetah never wins, but right now, David Jonas is showing that that's not always right.
They come back again across the AMSOIL finish line.
Around that cat corner. Look at that. Both those guys staying inside. We saw it earlier tonight. Most riders went to the outside in the cat corner, but not right now. Here comes David Jonas again. This is heat 1 of round 2 of AMSOIL Pro Open, and they are halfway through this heat.
Jonas a little bit quicker than what, of course, Ross Martin was last lap. There you see your race leader as he charges his way up the hill. The Royal Distributing Arctic Cat out of Christian Brothers Racing. Boy, Dave has really found a home there. Those guys have bonded well, him and Logan, and of course Dwight and Stewart and all the folks in the crew doing a great job putting those sleds together. Dave Jonas is showing it right now.
He's had a great weekend, and there's no way to overstate what he's doing here. Ross Martin and Tim Tremblay cannot get around David Jonas, and those are two of the greatest in our sport. Jonas over the Air Force flyaway continues to lead. Big air for the 1:15 through the inside of the cat corner, and Ross Martin doing everything he can to try to reel in the leader.
Just can't quite make up the ground he needs to. He was about 0.3 of a second faster than David last time, but still is about a little over a second, not quite a second and a half behind. And look at Tremblay. Tremblay, he hasn't given up either. Who knows? That crafty veteran at any time can find another gear. We've seen that in the Dominator.
Well, Tremblay ran the fastest lap on the track, the fastest lap of the race on that last lap. So he's reeled in the 8.37 of Ross Martin as they head down the hill. And the two veterans do battle for second. Here comes Tim Tremblay.
It looked like Ross kind of checked there just a bit, knowing that going into that corner, he wanted to try and get set up to come back down underneath, but then wasn't close enough to take and make that work for him. Tremblay able to work up into second place.
We've got a new second place rider, and again, that is Tim Tremblay. But your leader continues to be David Jonas. The 1:15 through that dogleg, and down the hill comes your leader. White flag is out for David Jonas. Tim Tremblay has reeled him in, though. Tremblay looking to the inside as they come through the FXR turn, and up the hill they go.
Boy, he's going to have a heck of a lap here. We talked about that lap that he ran 27.6. He's going to need that to take and try to make a pass. Jonas looking so smooth. Oh, and Tremblay runs into some lap traffic. That checked him up a bit. It looks like Jonas may be able to hold on here on that, of course, Royal Distributing Arctic Cat for the win.
He has done it. David Jonas on the 1:15 gets it done here in Heat 1 of Round 2 of the AMSOIL Pro Open class. And I got to say, Tim Tremblay gave him everything he could and got faster and faster as the race continued there. The engines are ablaze, the riders are gazing at the starter, and we are ready to go green in Heat 2, Round 2.
That's a good shot right there. You can see the line they've painted in the snow, and then how they drag a line. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to give you, like I said again, just a short buffer to engage those clutches without them calling foul.
Checks with every racer, and we are about to go green. And they're racing! 9 sleds into the turn cleanly, and out they go, and up the hill they come.
Well, there were a couple of rockets early on, one a Skidoo, the other right there, and that is the number 54.
Peter Narsa.
Peter Narsa.
Wow.
And Narsa, of course, Cody Cam's teammate this year. So Narsa, who used to ride a Skidoo, now on a Polaris, and trying to run him down, the 168, Justin Broberg. Narsa actually took Justin Broberg's ride, so kind of see Justin going, I'm going after this one.
I'm going to show him what I got, and he's showing him right now to the inside over the Air Force flyaway, bumper to bumper into the cat corner, the 168 to the inside. We've got a new leader, Mike.
And that was clean. You made sure, Justin, you watched him as he looked over his shoulder to make sure it was clean. Broberg now on the Geek Squad Arctic Cat, racing for McGuire Racing. He is out front.
Here comes Cody Cam.
And those are teammates right there, the 54 and the 53. So Narsa in second, and Cody Cam going, let me sneak by here. I'm going to take a run at Broberg.
Broberg got real loose and lost the lead to Cody Cam.
Boy, to both of them.
It happened coming up the hill right before the Air Force flyaway. Justin Broberg got a little cockeyed right there, and it opened the door for the fast one himself, Cody Cam, your new leader here in Heat 2 of Round 2 of AMSOIL Pro Open.
So you've got Hench's Polaris is running 1 and 2. That's Cody Cam, Narsa in second, Justin Broberg in third. Then it's Watkinson and John Stenberg in fifth on a Skidoo.
Broberg not done with this yet, though. He continues to pursue Peter Narsa, who got around him a moment ago. It'd be the second time you'd have to pass Peter for position, but right now, it's Cody Cam's race to lose. The 53 is out front again out of Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Boy, Cam caught a big break there when they had a little bobble. Broberg struggling, and of course, then he was able to get by. Somebody down in the back, that means they have to slow down. It shouldn't be jumping in that part of the racetrack. Cam goes to the top side, edges around that berm that builds up after they've done some grooming a while back, gives them a way to take and manipulate around that top part of the racetrack.
Halfway through the race, and Cody Cam is the man on the points. Out of the FXR turn and headed back up the hill towards the Air Force flyaway. The yellow continues to wave right there. No jumping, no passing right there. No air of any kind. And then back on the gas goes Cody Cam. These brand new Polaris sleds are certainly performing the way they'd hoped they would here tonight, Mike.
And like we said, we talked to Tom Rager Jr. This is a 3-year program that they've working trying to put this together. Rick Bates, who has been in snowmobiling and done a lot of engineering on snowmobiles all the way back to speed sleds, and that has done just an enormous job, and has spent a lot of time in working with his team and crew, or the team that he is part of, to help put this together. And I'll tell you what, after 3 years of development, it looks pretty solid right now.
We've seen utter domination out of Tucker Hibbert. That means everybody's got to step up, and it looks like for this season, Polaris has done just that. Cody Cam continues to show the way around this racetrack. 7 out of 10 laps in the books as he heads back towards that Air Force flyaway, cleans his mask, gets a little of that snow off his goggles so he can see into the cat corner, and he continues to run away from the field.
Boy, he is big on that uphill, too. He's going all the way to the top of it. Watch him as he comes back down to the AMSOIL finish line to click off another lap as they start counting them down. 2 laps left to go.
You look at 2 and 3 right here. Again, that's Peter Narsa in the 54 and Justin Broberg on the 168. Broberg has not given up on reeling in second, but he is losing time as that man continues to tick away the laps. The 53 at the top of the hill is Cody Cam.
Cam continues to work off laps, but the interesting thing is when we talk about the second and third place sled, as we watch Cam continue with 1 lap left to go. Well, just a little dicey turn down there. That, you've got both of them that are on new sleds. They're both doing really well.
Yeah. Cody Cam got a little sideways through that turn right there. We call it drifting in the business. But at the top of the hill, he's got a 9, almost 10-second lead on second. Plenty of time to have a little bit of a bobble and still win this race going away. Down the hill comes Cody Cam, and he will win Heat 2 Round 2 of AMSOIL Pro Open here in Duluth.
Now, Cam takes 12 points for the win, but I wonder if Cody remembered that, if he's number 1 qualifier, they're inverted. He's going to get the 10th pick on the front row.
He'll be reminded right away, but a very, very good run. With authority, a win from Cody Cam.
Oh, and man, you got to have faith in your equipment and in your crew that they're going to set it up, give you the best hole shot possibly that you can have, try to get you up front. So points are points. It's important to gather them.
That was Heat 2 of Round 2 of AMSOIL Pro Open, which leads us to Heat 3 of Round 2 of AMSOIL Pro Open. By the way, Cody Cam, Peter Narsa, Justin Broberg, 1, 2, 3 in that heat, followed by Corey Watkinson, and Colby Crapo in 4th and 5th. The young buck himself, Ryan Springer,
Ryan
comes
Springer
across in
6th.
6th.
Yep, and then you've got Jake Scott in 7th, John Stenberg in 8th place. So that's the way they end up in heat number 2, round 2, AMSOIL Pro Open qualifying. Dad Russ Ebert helped design some of the Arctic sleds with Tucker's dad, Kurt Hibbert. So, solid crew. You got faith in your equipment.
Kyle Pauline also in this heat, dominated his first heat. Let's see if he's got something for him again this time. It's in the starters' hands, and they are racing in Duluth. Into the corner they go. Tucker pinched again. And I believe, is that the Doc 360 sled? It is. Logan Christian in the lead with Kyle Pauline on his tail.
Logan going, I just hope that everybody in front of me stays on their sleds here as Logan works out in front. Boy, he got bit again last time. I mean, just tough luck for him. So Logan Christian looking to be very strong here early on. Right behind him, Corin Todd, Kyle Pauline, who won his earlier heat, sitting in 3rd place.
Kyle Pauline, I believe, was passed by Lincoln Lemieux in that corner right there. They are bunched up behind Logan Christian. But you mentioned it. Let's not forget, again, as we see Tucker Hibbert go to the inside of Lincoln Lemieux to take 3rd.
Boy, and he worked him a little bit, too. Lincoln looked over his shoulder. Tucker gave him plenty of room, but Tucker able to get around Lincoln Lemieux, and now he will move up into 3rd place.
He looks to take 2nd place away from Corin Todd. A swoop move, a little paint traded, and up the hill goes your new 2nd place racer, and that is Tucker Hibbert. The only guy in front of him now is the 43 sled of Logan Christian.
Well, you've seen Tucker move all his way to the left side of that sled, brought that ski up to almost avoid any contact that there may have been. I mean, that takes a lot of skill and a lot of racing experience to know exactly what he's doing. Right now, he's going after Logan. These two guys race each other all the time on the practice track over in Fertile, but look at that. It just ramping right around
Made it look easy. Tucker Hibbert takes the lead from Logan Christian, and the T-Train is at it again in Duluth. We've got a new leader, and it's the 68 of Tucker Hibbert. Let's look at this battle for 4th. We got Corin Todd, Lincoln Lemieux, and Kyle Pauline battling it out back there right now.
Yeah, Pauline sitting in 4th, trying to make up some ground on Corin Todd. That's the Leighton Racing sled. Corin in his 2nd year of Pro Open racing. And Kyle just can't find a line around him. Corin doing a great job covering every line that Kyle wants to take.
Corin had a rough landing there. May have opened the door a little bit for Kyle Pauline. Big air over the Air Force flyaway. Kyle might check the inside. He's going to wait and be patient right there as they make the dog leg and head down the stretch towards the AMSOIL finish line. Halfway to go in this 3rd heat of round 2.
Boy, and I'll tell you what, Lemieux was making a run at Kyle Pauline there too. So don't count the number 13 Shearing Speed Sport AMSOIL Skidoo out of this battle either.
We see them head up the hill once again. It's Hibbert, it's Christian, and that right there is Corin Todd, and right behind him is Kyle Pauline and Lincoln Lemieux. That's the battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Meanwhile, there is Logan Christian. Let's not forget what happened to Logie in his first heat. As we see our leader right there, Tucker Hibbert. Logan led all the way to 50 yards from the finish line when he crashed into another sled and lost it all. He needs a great finish here, Mike.
Tucker right now, and Lincoln Lemieux having a problem. So that a tough break for the driver that was running in 5th and challenging for 3rd there.
He had a good weekend, and something happens with the sled right there. We've got the yellow flags out for Tucker Hibbert as he crosses the finish line.
Ooh, tough place to be, too.
It certainly is.
Won't let anybody take a deep, shallow inside line to try to make a move on somebody. So I would presume they'll try to pull that sled off, and that's exactly what they've done, so they can pull the yellow out of there. Wow. With the number of laps left that are in this race.
Tucker Hibbert with giant air over the Air Force flyaway, and he has got her hooked up this time. Shot out of a cannon and over the AMSOIL finish line. There he is, the T-Train, the 9-time champion, Tucker Hibbert. There's the 43 again of Logan Christian. A very solid race after a very hard crash in his first heat. You see that Corin Todd's reeled him in a little bit there, Mike.
It is, but you take and go back and focus on Tucker Hibbert. Hibbert now about 4.5 seconds ahead of the entire field. Logan trying to do what he can do to take and hold on to 2nd place. Corin Todd about 2 seconds behind him. 1 lap left to go. T-Train He looks to be in mid-season form.
He's in very good shape, as he always is at the very beginning of the season. I think the thing here that speaks volumes is if you remember back to the very beginning of this heat, he got pinched out and was back in 5th at the very beginning of this race. Didn't take himself long to find his way to the front of the pack, and now as he makes it through the dogleg, he'll make his way down the hill towards that finish line once again. He's a 9-time champion, and he's won this heat. Tucker Hibbert has done it again in Duluth. Heat 3, round 2, the win goes to the 68 of Tucker Hibbert.
Hibbert holds on to the win. Logan Christian will come across in 2nd place. Corn Todd in 3rd. Kyle Pauline, it's got to be a little bit of a frustrating 4th place after winning his first heat.
It all comes down to this in Spirit Mountain, Duluth, Minnesota for the Pro Lite Last Chance qualifiers. Welcome back to AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram. 5 of these 11 racers will transfer to the final. The rest will be done for the night, Mike.
Watching them on the line, get ready. Holmes, Love, Kern, Patton, Wollenberg, Eschol,
Yes.
Kraus, Bakuka.
Lots of
be
big
fun.
names in this one, including Elias Eschol. And on the track they are, up the hill they go. Again, only 5 racers will transfer. The rest will be done for the day. And who is your leader? Is that the Makita sled?
That would be the 200 of Elias Eschol.
The 200 just in front of the 201 of Travis Kern. Names not used to being in the LCQ, setting the standard right now out here for the Pro Lite division.
3rd place sitting out there right now, Marcus Ogamar Hilo.
Elias Eschol fights it through the corner, trying to get that sled to turn, and up the hill he'll come. Again, if there's any racer in this division that can start from the back row and win this race, it's that young man right there. And the guy behind him, no slouch either, in Travis Kern.
Kern on the 201 RD Cat. Big, tall rider. Whereas you take a look at Elias. Elias, very compact rider out of Norway.
A battle about to begin for 2nd place back there, as I believe Travis Kern and Christopher Holm are going to start battling it out for that 2nd place. Here's the man on the bubble. That guy is Jordan Kraus. He's 5th right now and holding the final transfer spot. Luke Wallenberg right behind him, looking for that 5th spot in his way into the finals to make sure his night is not finished. We'll keep an eye on that battle.
I was going to say both Kraus and Wallenberg have had up and down evenings as they both have done extremely well, but then again, they've both had some tough offs.
And again, there's Elias Eschol, the number 200 sled. Up the hill he goes. Good solid lead for Elias, and at this point it's all about staying on your sled and staying in the feature. 1, 2, 3, 4, there's your top 4 sleds. The 5th sled will be coming into the frame right there. You saw him just for a second. That was Jordan Kraus, who continues to be the man on the bubble. Over the AMSOIL finish line with 2 laps to go is Elias Eschol. Through the FXR turn, he'll make his way back up the hill again on that Makita sled. As always, fast and loose.
And exciting.
Yes.
Down into the corner, takes and squares it away.
Again, there is your 5th place rider. That's the man on the bubble, Jordan Kraus. Jordan out of Osage, Minnesota for the Wilds Resort and Old Trapper Beef Jerky.
And he had about a 2.5 lead over Brady Love, who's sitting in 6th. But meanwhile, up front, there's your leader again, and he's got about a 2.5 second lead on the rest of the field. White flag out, 1 lap left to go.
Just stay on that sled for half a lap, and Elias Eschol will find his way into the feature. There's your battle for the transfer spot, though. This one's not completely over yet either, as you mentioned.
Kraus sitting there in 3rd, Brady Love right behind him.
Through the cat corner, the battle continues as Elias Eschol has won this race. But Jordan Kraus tries to hang on for another 50 feet to transfer into the final, and he will just do it at the checkered flag ahead of Brady Love. Eschol, Kern, Holm, Karjanin, and Kraus will be the 5 to transfer to the Pro Lite feature later on tonight.
And they're in the back row, so at a little bit of a disadvantage, but when you start talking about a final that's going to be 14 laps long for these Pro Lite drivers, anything is possible.
You are correct. Again, the AMSOIL Snowcross National at Spirit Mountain in Duluth, Minnesota, where the snow is great. Weather not too cold, the wind blowing in all directions in different parts of this track, as it is wont to do, especially right there from that vantage point up at the top of the U.S. Air Force flyaway. Air Group Pro-Am Plus 30 class feature is on the starting line. 14 racers ready to take the green. Kurt Bowerly has been dominant in this class, but Justin Tate's going to try to have something to say with it. Danny Poyer, Wes Selby, Patrick Brodeur, Matthew Tingstad, who, by the way, is a lawyer as well when he's not on a snowmobile.
He's calmed down a little bit. He used to do freestyle.
Well, you know, we all get older.
8 laps.
Oh,
but you
we
know
are
what?
green.
I don't think they'll black flag him because he knew he fouled and he checked
black
up,
flagged himself.
Black flagged himself.
You better believe
bad.
he did.
Ooh,
Oh, did we lose one back there?
I don't know.
Oh,
It
it
looked
didn't look
ugly.
like. Yes, it did. But the 15 doesn't look ugly. That's Wes Selby with the
Selby.
hole shot out front. It's something we're not used to seeing. A sled other than Kurt Bowerly leading this Air Group Pro-Am Plus 30 feature. But across the AMSOIL finish line, we do have the 15 in the front.
Yeah, but look who's right behind him, Kurt Bowerly, and you can be sure that he'll be stocking. Now, the thing is, as we indicated and I said earlier in a round, Wes Selby's got a lot of snowcross experience. He raced for many years in both the Pro Lite and the Pro Open class, so he's got a lot of experience. He's one of the drivers that's from out west, got a lot of mountain riding experience, and very, very good rider.
Again, Wes Selby now calls Thief River Falls, Minnesota his home, and he calls the lead his own as he continues to dominate this race early on with a more than 3-second lead over Kurt Bowerly, who's got his hands full with Danny Poyer right now.
Bowerly stumbling a little bit on the uphill. He the sled the skidoo with the red skis, and look at Poyer underneath him.
To the inside, and we've got a new second-place rider.
Both of them on skidoos. Poyer showed his way around there on that Ingles Performance sled. Found the line, was able to make a move. Kurt just couldn't counter, and it allowed, of course, Danny to get around him.
Looks like Poyer now confidently into second place as they head back up the hill. Meanwhile, there's your leader. That's Wes Selby on the 15. As I said, from Thief River Falls, Minnesota for Arctic Cat and Woody's Racing.
Oh, and
no.
Bowerly off.
Kurt Bowerly is off his sled, the 318. Again, that's the 15 right there of Wes Selby, as you mentioned, been racing for a long time, Mike.
Selby, as we indicated, let's see, here's the off, I believe, of Kurt Bowerly. Right here.
You're right.
Yep. Came up short, and then was off axis, and that unloaded him.
And your leader up front, Wes Selby, now I believe, was that Poyer right behind him? It is.
It is. Poyer made up quite a bit of ground. You got to remember that, you know, these guys are plus 30 years old, and some of them are plus 30 years old.
Outside goes Poyer, though. Selby finds out he's there and goes back to the front, but just for a second, as inside goes Poyer, the lapper slows them both down, and Poyer uses it to his advantage and takes the lead.
You bet. He was able to get behind Justin Tate. They're really, or rather Stuart Hunt. They were able to take and come up on lap traffic, and I'll tell you what, Wes Selby did not have the best line to get around him. Poyer capitalized on it and was able to take and make the pass and move into the lead. So now it's Danny Poyer. Poyer, as we indicated, racing out of Quebec, Canada for Ingles Performance and Skidoo. He is your race leader.
Yeah, great run for him. He was our third qualifier and had run third for quite some time. Made his way around a couple of racers, and now he's your leader with 2 laps to go.
Working up the back part of the racetrack, making the ascent. Then he'll go through that big sweeping corner on the top part of the racetrack to the Ram downhill. Looks like he's got things in hand right now.
Very fast as he heads towards the AMSOIL finish line. A hard case there, but keeps her rolling. He'll take the white flag. 1 lap to go for Danny Poyer, your leader here in the Air Group Pro-Am Plus 30 final. The hardware is on the line for 1 final lap as he heads up the hill.
Nicely railed it through 1 and 2. Comes up to the top of the hill again. We'll see if he stays inside or goes outside. He does take and stay inside. Watch him as he works his way through that. transition corner here, and then the downhill, and the checkered flags await him.
Down the hill he comes towards the AMSOIL finish line. The flames in the air for Danny Poyer, your winner in the Air Group Pro-Am Plus 30 class. Just ahead of second place Wes Selby, and it looks like Justin Tate will probably hang on for third place in the final spot on the podium. Let's see if he does. He does. Justin Tate comes across in third. Let's take a look at the start here and find out what happened in this race. As you can see, once again, they were packed and stacked into that first turn. A great start for Wes Selby. Kurt Bowerly right there on your left-hand side, squirrely right from the very beginning of the race. Then the action-packed happened right there. When you get caught up behind a slower racer, you got to pick the right line, and that time, no doubt about it, Danny Poyer did just that.
Yeah, he had the opportunity there to really capitalize on lap traffic. Moved himself out to the lead and eventually ended up with the win.
So Poyer, Selby, and Tate will take to the AMSOIL podium in just a second to get their hardware. Patrick Brodeur comes across in fourth. Kurt Bowerly comes back after an off. He'll still finish fifth. Matthew Tingstad will come across in sixth, and David Blunt in seventh.
Justin Monty in eighth, Stuart Hunt in ninth, Wesley Bear in ninth, Kyle Zimmerman, Scott Abrams, James Blunt, and Blaine Graham wrap up the field. You know, the good thing is it's nice to see a big field of course, Air Group Pro-Am Plus 30 drivers. And we hope that these guys all stay healthy throughout the year.
I remember Kurt Bowerly saying last year in the final race of the year, he
challenged people.
Absolutely, hoping for more riders in this class, and he got his wish.
Yep, he challenged people to come out, and they did get some more drivers. That's exciting to see.
Keep waiting to see our friend Levi Lavalle in this class. But is he 30 yet?
Not quite.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
I don't think he's not quite 30.
Probably not quite there.
But you take a look at the field. Tucker Hibbert could be racing in it.
Sure.
Ross Martin could be racing in it.
Let's give him some hardware, shouldn't we?
Hey, we sure can. I'll tell you what's introduced to you the top three in the Air Group Pro-Am Plus 30. In third place, he's out of Scandia, Minnesota, racing for Polaris Woodies, CNA Pro Ski, and Walker Evans Shocks, along with AMSOIL on the number 28 Polaris. Third place, Justin Tate. There he comes. In second place, out of Thief River Falls, Minnesota, racing for Artie Cat Woodies. Also racing for 139 Designs and Speedworks, the number 15 Artie Cat, Wes Selby. And your winner, out of Quebec, Canada, racing for Ingles Performance, Skidoo, Woody, CNA Pro Ski, along with 139 Design, Danny Poyer. Let's head down to Chelsea and Winner's Circle.
Hi guys, I got our Pro Plus 30 class here on the podium in third spot. We've got Justin Tate. Justin, you're a veteran to the circuit. You've been around for many years, but what's the best piece of advice you've gotten as a rider?
Geez, I don't know. So many years, so much wisdom. I don't know, just keep it together, be smart, be safe.
And who do you want to thank tonight?
I'd like to thank a bunch of people, actually. Polaris, all my sponsors, Woody's, CNA Pro, Fly Clothing, everybody. I kind of came in here tonight debating if this was going to be my last Duluth and I was going to pull the pin for snowcross racing. My plate's full with cross country and a bunch of other stuff, so I think this is it. I'm just glad to be on the box, and I almost got 20 years in here at Duluth racing. So I'd like to thank my family, my friends, all my fans, everybody who's been behind me to get me here, to keep me here, and I can't thank you guys enough. So thank you all.
I'm tearing up a little bit, you guys. All right, in second spot, Wes Selby, come on down. You've done a lot of riding. You've raced in our Pro Open class. How does it feel being Pro Vet class?
It's different, you know. I didn't ever expect to be racing still, just turning 30, but It's a lot of fun to be back here at the snowcross races. The crowd is awesome, and they had a really good track this weekend, so it's a lot of fun. And these guys are fun to race with, you know, and I won't make it to all of them, but we're going to come to some of them and have fun and put on a good show. And I'd like to thank my sponsors, of course, Woody's Racing, Team Articat, Stud Boy, Fox Shocks, 139 Designs. Everyone's who's been behind me. It's been fun, and keep on having fun.
Well, congratulations, Wes. Great race.
Thanks.
All right, Danny, come on down. You've had a really good weekend here in Pro Open. Up on top of the box, tell us about your race and who you want to thank tonight.
First, I want to thank Ingalls Performance from Phoenix, New York, Skidoo, all their sponsors, my mechanics, Dennis, my family, my kids, my wife, and everybody in work with me and try to make the sled going fast. So thanks, everybody.
Well, congratulations. That's your top 3 here in the Pro Plus 30 class. I'm going to send it back up to you guys.
Fantastic job as always, Chelsea. Thank you so much. Congratulations to our winners in the Air Group Pro-Am Plus 30 class. Again, Mike Schroeder, Chris Hockey, Carly Apple, bringing you live coverage of the AMSOIL Snowcross National at Spirit Mountain in Duluth, Minnesota.
John Stenberg, 5 move on, 5 are done till tomorrow. LCQ coming up, 8 laps.
Wait a minute. The 857 not ready to go. That's Andy Leaders.
Andy forgot to put his goggles on.
Gotta have his goggles on. Wouldn't want to try this without him. It's in the starter's hands. The last chance qualifier for the AMSOIL Pro Open here at Spirit Mountain in Duluth. And they're racing.
Good clean start. Watch them as they move through. That is Cody Thompson on the number 62 RD Cat. He's not out front, but he's up towards the front. That is, I believe,
no!
Man!
3 sleds.
Cody Thompson,
over.
Zach Patton. Who's the other driver? Another Arctic driver. Oh, John Stenberg is the other sled.
And they're discussing it at the top of the hill.
You see the first thing they did, they wanted to make sure they were all okay.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that was just momentum that nobody could stop, and everybody got into each other. That's the 99 of Zach Patton right
and he's
there.
got his sled just buried.
Cody Thompson, the 62.
Into Stenberg's skidoo.
And Stenberg right there. So those 3 sleds essentially done for the afternoon. Again, of the 10 sleds that started, 3 of them done now. That leaves 7 of them, including your leader right there.
And they were right, those 3 sleds were right behind Petter Narsa.
Absolutely.
You know, they were charging hard. And of course, just a little contact between 2 of them on the top side takes 3 of them out. So Narsa, your leader, Corin Todd, Ryan Springer, Andy Leaders, and Colby Crapo. That's the bubble right there. That's your 5th place driver.
999. That is Colby Crapo, the man on the bubble right now, trying to hold off the guy behind him, the 421 of Dylan Hall, to find his way into the finals. One of the people we mentioned as we again look at your leader right there in Peter Narsa is Ryan Springer, the 541, the guy who dominated Pro Lite. This year he's moved up to AMSOIL Pro Open. Right now he is in 3rd and a couple of laps away from making his first AMSOIL Pro Open final.
Right now he'd be sitting as your number 13 qualifier as they continue to work laps around here. You've seen Corin Todd trying to just edge that new Polaris of his around the corner, trying to find a good line to make up some time on Narsa. But I'll tell you what, Narsa looks really comfortable on this Polaris ride.
Certainly does. There's your battle for 1st and 2nd. It's Narsa and it's Todd. Todd to the inside of a Latmobile. Over the Air Force flyaway. Reels him in just a bit. But again, all that matters in this race outside of the seating is making sure you're one of those top 5 finishers. The 54 over the AMSOIL finish line continues to lead. Corin Todd right behind him on the 36. Great shot at your leader right there as he heads back up towards the Air Force flyaway.
Looking back at the transition, Springer's got about a 4-second lead over Leaders. Leaders in 4th with about a 2-second lead over that driver right there. Crapo in the last transfer, and Crapo's got about almost a 4-second lead over the 6th place sled of Dylan Hall. So those guys just need to make sure they've got some good, consistent laps.
2 laps to go for your leader. And you see it right there, Corin Todd not letting him get away, not taking any crazy chances. Every racer knows it's 5 or you're done. So even though you can smell that win, you don't want to take too many chances to get her done. There's that 62 sled of Cody Thompson, who right now is sitting in 7th. He's on the outside looking in because of that crash early in the race.
Got tied up early on. That just really, really wrecked the race for Thompson and, of course, Stenberg and Zach Patton.
1 lap to go for Petter Narsa and Corin Todd, Ryan Springer, Andy Leaders, and Colby Crapo, your top 5. Over the Air Force flyaway for the final time. Through that cat corner. There's Corin Todd. Into the dog leg and down the hill comes Peter Narsa.
Not bad lap times either. 28.7, running pretty decent.
And a win in the books and a transfer to the feature for Peter Narsa, Corin Todd. Ryan Springer will come across in 3rd and make that AMSOIL Pro Open feature. Andy Leaders will come across in 4th, and holding on for the 5th and final transfer spot will be Colby Crapo.
Man, you take a look at that. All 5 sleds that transferred are Polaris. 3 of the new Polarises, 2 of the drivers, of course, Andy Leaders and Colby Crapo on the older Pro Open sleds. But Polaris got to be happy. It's going to be an all Polaris back row.